Hi, Mark here, trust you're well. In this live Lightroom short, which was recorded on the 18th of December 2024, we look at published services, how you can control and transmit your images from Classic to third-party applications, such as Flickr or perhaps your own WordPress website. Now, these are live events that I host, which are free to attend on a Wednesday evening. So if you'd like to learn more about these events, come and visit me on Eventbrite. Just book up for a Wednesday session and Eventbrite will send you all the details near the time of the event. So without any further ado, let's jump across to the recording. Take care. Bye for now. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming along. In this week's live Lightroom short, we're going to be looking at published services and what published services are. It's a mixture of exporting and a collection to normally a third-party service. So let me give you some scenarios. You wanted to upload some pictures to a website, or perhaps to a service, or perhaps you wanted to submit some images to a stock agency, or perhaps you wanted to save them on a network drive or a server somewhere, or any third-party service, and there's thousands of them. So for example, in the older days, we used to use published services for Dropbox. We used to send the images to Dropbox. So there's lots of reasons why we can use published services, from transmitting our images from Classic and controlling them in Classic, that's the important bit, to a third-party service. So let's just take one of those. You wanted to upload your images to your website or to a club's website or something like that. The older way that we used to do it is we used to go to the export functionality, type in the settings we wanted, press the export, and they'd go into a folder or finder, an explorer or something like that. And then we used to log into our website or send an email to somebody, and that's something else that you can do in Classic. You can email the photographs inside Classic. Classic has an email client built in, so you don't need to export your images. So sending those images up to a website in the old days of exporting was very clunky, or was lots of actions. Making a collection, selecting them all, exporting to the size, going to the folder, logging into the website and uploading them. Well, with published services, you can press one button and upload them. The great thing about published services, you're in control, or the third party that you're sending them is in control by the settings they want to receive them. So let's say we're going to look at Flickr tonight. You want to send some images to Flickr. You can say, I only want to send them 2000 pixels long. Classic will export them, upload them to your Flickr account, 2000 pixels long. But perhaps you want to send them to a stock agency, for example, Adobe Stock or Alamy or Getty or someone like that, or Wirestock. Their plugin that goes into published services will already export the file as they want it. And it could be to the fact that it must have a title, it must have description, it must have a headline, it must have your credentials, and it won't send it if it fails their quality control, because those fields aren't submitted. Another example, CopyTrek. Brilliant service. You upload a small low-res image, it backwards searches the whole internet for your picture, and then gives you a results page on their website saying, we found your picture here. Have you given them permission to use it? And if you just go click no, they will then contact them and say, have you got a license? If you haven't, we're going to now reclaim some money from you. We're going to send you a bill, and we want paying for that because you're using a picture that you haven't done. This is all within published services. So let me show you how it works. So let's just share screen. Okay, so published services, bottom left hand corner. And I'm just going to show you Flickr tonight, and I'm going to show you how to transfer them to my website. So, as I said earlier, it's a hybrid of exporting and collections. So we have a service, so we can send them to a hard drive. We can send them to Adobe Stock once you have a stock account with Adobe. So you sell your images with Adobe. You can just drag your images into this publish service and just press publish and they go to them. But we have for tonight Flickr. I've set up a Flickr account for tonight. And what you can do is you can set up a collection. They call them albums in this case. That's the terminology Flickr uses. So publish services, and the date is the 18th. So this is the name of my album. There it is. That's what Flickr calls them, albums. And I want to put some pictures in there. So I'm just going to go to a collection. Going to select these, drag, drop them in. And whatever settings I've got in here for these images. So in here, whatever I've got in the IPTC data. So for example, we could put in some contact details there. There we go. Okay, we could put in there none, take them out. We can put in the title. So this is ladies in a field.
Careful, Flickr may not use the title.
That's correct. So what I would do the first time that I actually transmitted a test image, I would put in there headline. Okay, so headline. All right, description. Okay, then I would then come down, title down here, and I would type in here, got one too far, title. Okay, so now I'm going to hit in publish services. There's my publish services. There's the information, the IPTC data, and I'm going to publish these images. So I just hit publish. And it's going to transmit these images. There we go. So we've got 4 more to go. That one's gone. Okay, so that one's gone. That one's gone. This one needs to be modified. So I'm going to hit publish. Once these 3 are done, I'm going to hit this one again to republish them. Or republish the one. Okay. So it's nearly finished. Hit publish again. And this one's going to update. So I can replace it, or I can skip it, or I can cancel. I'm going to replace the image. So it writes over the top. There we go. So I've published those images to Flickr. So now let's go to Flickr. There's the images. And that's the images I put the, see? Description, title. I can see where there's the tempo name, so that's where the title appears. There's the description. There's description, so you can see what fields hit where. Okay, so now if I change this to title, press return. This will get updated in every version of this image in every published catalogue will come up like this. So if I've got this picture in 5 different published services, it will come up in each published service, modify photo to republish. Now, perhaps I didn't want to do that, so I would create a virtual copy of the image, change the metadata. Remember, a virtual copy is just a line in the database, it's not an extra file. Okay. I would then change the appropriate IPTC data, hit publish, and it would only update the virtual copy in this publish service. So we wait for that to update. While that's doing that, we go back, and there's the next image. See, there's all the titles and added description and so on. So I'm controlling it all from Classic. Okay. Now, this is what I love about published services. This image here, I can take it to the develop module. I'm going to make it black and white now. Go back to G. There is the image to republish. Hit republish. Going to replace it. And sometimes this takes a little while when you do a change of visual effect. So now I'm going to go refresh. And there you go. The picture is now black and white. So what happens is Classic sends the picture and overwrites the original. And that's with all the data. That's with everything. That's with the photograph, that's with the IPTC data, everything. Okay, so as I update, could be keywords, add keywords to it. It could be I'm changing my settings. So if I click on this bar here where it says Flickr Lightroom Mark, double click here, I can change the settings. So Flickr has given me this plugin. It's built into Classic as standard, and I've got, what do I want to send? Okay, so it's IPTC data. So the title, do I want to replace it or do I want to leave it? So I want to replace it. File name, do I want to rename the file when I send it? Do I want to include video? What's the video format if the service supports video? File settings, so I can put it as 100% quality of the JPEG, or I can put it as a 70%. I can limit the file size. So I'm doing an export, but it's sending it to Flickr. I can change the size. So with Flickr, because Flickr is linked to Getty Images, if I didn't want to send a high-res image, I could say my longest edge is 1,000 pixels. That's only realistically good enough for a website. They couldn't sell that image. Okay? Sharpen. How do I want to sharpen the image? Do I want to put a watermark on it? Put a watermark on it. Save my preset. Republish all. Now if I republish, I'm going to replace them all. And we wait a few seconds. It's going to upload them all. But I'm managing, the point is I'm managing everything from Classic. I'm not having to do an action in Lightroom Classic and then go outside of Classic and then create another action, log into a website, upload to that website, do some work, add data or anything in that website. Classic is the center hub of my workflow. And this is why, in my opinion, slightly biased, that it is the leading software for photographers, because it's a center hub that allows you to go outside of Classic and come back. So now if I refresh, you can see we've got the watermark draft on every single image. But I haven't done anything with Flickr. Everything is done inside Classic. So let's go to my website. So this is my Lightroom Mark website. And I have a plugin. There's several plugins. This is just one plugin for tonight with by Meow, a friend of mine at Meow. This is a WordPress syncing app, where it's the same principle. I double click on the bar where the logo is. I have all the settings. I've logged into my WordPress account. What data do I want to send? So IPC title, caption. So this is Jay, when you said earlier, be careful which one it is. I can select with this plugin, I can select what I want to send. The author of the plugin and the service is allowing me to choose what to send. Not everyone does this. Okay, I can choose what to send, and I can choose if I want to sync it. So do I want to sync my keywords? Yes, I do. No, I don't. Okay, and then I can come down, file renaming, if I want to rename, video, file settings. So 100% quality, it's a sRGB, the file size. So longest edge, 1500 pixels. 1500 pixels at 72 dots per inch. Going to sharpen, and I'm going to save that preset. Okay, so now I can create a collection. There's the collection there, and I'm going to go to my 5 images. I'm going to make this one back to a color image. So take it off black and white, goes back to color. Going to select all 5. I'm going to put them in this collection or album within publish services, and I'm going to hit publish. Now, because I put this back to color, this image, if I go back to Flickr, it's now saying it's color. So if I want to keep this in black and white here, what I would have to do is create a virtual copy. So create a virtual copy. There's my virtual copy. Go into the develop module, make that one black and white, and then delete or remove, sorry, it's a better word, remove the color version. So my color version is gone to my website, but my black and white version, I'm now going to hit publish. It's going to remove this one hopefully and upload this one. I'm now going to have a black and white version. So if I now go to my website and go into my media library, if everything's worked correctly, there we go. 1 image, 2 images, 3 images, 4 images. Okay, and I could, if I wish, create a page. There's a page I created earlier, and just edit the page. Go to add a photo, select the photo from my media library. There's the photo. Select, save the page, and there is the page on my picture on my website. Okay, nice and straightforward and simple. Now if I go back to refresh, there it is in black and white, and hopefully, let's see if it's uploaded or synced. There it is in Flickr. There it is in black and white. There it is in color. There it is. Okay, and you can see they're smaller now because I resized them. But the point is, I'm controlling everything within Classic. Everything I'm doing is in Classic. Classic is controlling it. Either how I want to transmit it, that could be file transfer protocol, which is a way we upload things to servers and other services, or it could be to a service that you're subscribing to. So for example, a digital asset management service such as Photo Shelter. Very, very, very popular business in New York, I believe it is. That what they do is something different to what a lot of stock agencies do with selling images. The customer looks at the photograph and says, I like that photograph, I want to use that for my newspaper. And they, from the drop downs, they choose what they want to do with the image, and it gives them a price. So if it's just for a website and they have 100,000 viewers a year, you might give them a price of $15. But if it's to go to the front page of the New York Times, that's got a 5 million publication or circulation or whatever, it gives them a price of $4,000. So it works out with the trade rates of what they should be paying for that image. Rather than buying a stock image from Adobe, Getty and so on with a blanket royalty-free license, I can put an image with Photo Shelter and they will pay the appropriate rate for my service, for my picture. So if it's news, sports or something like that, and a lot of my my personal work, my publications, I put my images with them because my images don't appear in stock sites. My publication images, different from my stock images. So they're called Photo Shelter. Well worth having a look if you're in that market, especially if you've taken historic images. So perhaps you got pictures back from the 60s of trips that you went on, etc. And the buildings have changed and communities have changed. You've got these historic images. They're very valuable. Not $20, more like $2,000 for a photograph. Because that building can't be, has changed and that somebody wants a historic image from it. So that's when these services really happen. But the point being is I'm managing it from Classic. If I change it in Classic, it'll change it if I wish on the third-party service. Okay? And that's basically what published services are. And if you have a need for something, I'm quietly confident there is a published service manager, a plugin that somebody has written to do what you want to do. Whether it's a service, whether it's a free something, or whether it's something bespoke, it's out there. And Adobe has got what they call the Adobe Exchange. It's it's a shop really to bring programmers and software users together, where they list all these plugins. Okay. So, has anybody any questions about that?
Yeah, on the Flickr, can you choose whether it's the title or the headline?
No,
And the
not with.
oh, they use the headline, so Flickr uses the headline.
They use. I will tell you. I believe they use. Let's just have a quick look. Let's go there. I think they use the title. So let's just double check.
No, I think that the headline.
I'll stand corrected. Let's have a look. No, it's title. Let me show you, Jay. Okay, so this is why I always do a dummy test run first. Okay, so, and this is how I do it. So let me just hide this. So this is my image. And in the IPTC data, so I've got the word headline written in the headline field. I have the word description written in description, and I have the word title written in the field called title. So now
write caption in there's a caption field.
Yeah.
Right?
So caption, if I go to default, no, where is it? Extended. So there is under caption large. See, caption,
It's up pretty high. Yeah.
So there you go, there. So it's got the word description in caption. So let's go back.
Okay.
So there's description. It's got the word. So caption is the same. Okay. So there we go there. Okay. Description. Okay. If I go to large caption, it's got the word description in it. So it's the same field. Okay. It just means it's a bigger box. You can write more in there.
Okay. It's the same field.
It's the same field. Okay. There is a thing called Big Note, I think it's called, where you can write a note about the image, but it's for you. It's a private note. But anyway, I'll show you that in a second.
Right.
So I've written the name, headline, description, title, and I've published this image. So now I go to Flickr. Here's the image, and I've got title and description.
That's weird. It's weird because when I did the title, they didn't appear. The title did not appear in Flickr, but it appeared in my web page.
Okay. Well, we'll just have a look and see what happens. Try.
Okay.
And that's why I say. That's why I say a lot of times I will put the same title and headline in the same place, so the text will be the same. So wherever it goes, whatever application it's going to, it's the same information in each place. And I think it was called Big Lightroom. I was just saying, Jay, for you, Lightroom Classic Note. I think it's called Big Note. There it is, Big Note. So this is a free plugin, and you get this big note box, and that appears down here, or it appears in here. You'll get one called Big Note. Okay, and it's for you to write a note about what you want to say. So it's a note to yourself, and you can keep it offline as well. So, and that's a free plugin. That is. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what Publish Services does. It allows you to transmit and control and manage and republish your work from within Classic to third-party sites or services. And I mentioned Adobe Exchange. Here's Adobe Exchange. And you can go to Creative Cloud and you type in Lightroom Classic, click the box, and these are all the plugins. Right, so there's 93 pages, and you can right. So you can sit there and you can sit and go, right, plugins, type in a keyword. So let's say you want something Dropbox. Okay, there you go. There's all the plugins for Dropbox. They will send your image from Published Services in Classic to Dropbox. Perhaps, I don't know. I'm just doing this. iCloud. No, there isn't anything on for iCloud. Okay, so OneDrive.
You have Dreamweaver there.
Yeah. So these are services that will take you to OneDrive. Google Drive, if you use Google Drive, you've got lots of storage. So there's lots and lots of facilities you can download. A lot of them are free. But yeah, the Exchange, if you're talking about Dreamweaver here, Jay, that's plugins for Dreamweaver. There's plugins for Bridge. There's plugins for Audition. This is the Adobe Suite. So these are all apps that people have written to go within Lightroom Classic and other apps to give more functionality, more services. Okay, and you can download the plugin from the Adobe Exchange. Okay.
I wonder what that I'll look into that Dreamweaver plugin.
Yeah. Well, there's
Thank you.
so the Dreamweaver. So you're going to filter the plugins of what Dreamweaver offer, or they've offer for Dreamweaver. So you filter that, and there they all are. Then you sit and go, oh, what am I going to use it for? I don't know. You know,
Right.
The list is endless. But yes, that's what published services are. Published services are allowing you to communicate with a third party, usually service or functionality or website or something. It could be there's a plugin for duplicates, so it finds all your duplicate images and things like that. There's plugins for keywords. There's the list is endless. If you have a task, there'll be a plugin that will help you. It may go into published services, or it may just sit within your portfolio. Okay. Anyone got any questions about published services? No? Okay, so this is the last Lightroom short for this year. It's the Christmas New Year recess. We're back on Wednesday the 8th of January, 7 p.m. And we're going to be looking at what's new in Lightroom Classic, Lightroom sprinkled with a little bit of Photoshop. Last week there was some new releases, so we're going to go and do that on the 8th. For the Lightroom community members, we're back on the 13th of January. We're looking at white balance, raw histograms, and camera calibration. So we're continuing on the develop module. 20th, we're looking at image noise and sharpening. And the 27th of Jan, we're looking at develop presets. So we've done something to our image and we want to record that action, not the settings, record the action. We can record the settings if we wish, but we're going to look at recording the actions. So you can apply those actions to a new image. Okay, so we're going to, and creating our own presets, develop presets. So let's say you get a style, black and white, you crush the blacks. We can create a preset and you can apply that to 50, 60 images, click of a finger. They're all edited for you and you just go in and tweak them very quickly. So that's what we're doing on the 27th, I think that is. Okay.
Mark, just before you go, there's a question in the chat.
Thank you, Joe. What's that? Stephen.
Actually, there's two now.
How do I need to register for each class? Okay, so Nancy, on a Monday, I host a live Lightroom support community. It's 2 hours. First hour, we go through a task within a theme. A theme is usually over 16 or so weeks, something like that. It's a semester because I'm an academic. So we're just coming to the end, probably the end of January, we will be coming to the end of the develop module. So, and in the first hour of our time together on a Monday, we look at a task within that theme and we have a conversation about that. And then the second hour, or up to an hour, so that's up to 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. in total. Second hour is support. I've got a problem with this, how do I do that? I've got a question with this, or my Lightroom's doing that, and as a community we talk about it and help you. Then on Wednesday, these are totally free. More information, lightroommark.com. Monday is chargeable. These are free because these go up on YouTube. Monday, there is a recording, but it goes out to paid members. So if you subscribe through Eventbrite, I'll have your email, and you'll get an email once a week on a Friday telling you what's happening, what's happened, here's the recordings and so on. So on Friday you'll get this email with the recording on it. How do I get a copy of the recordings? Stephen, so there you go. So Stephen, Wednesdays, they're on YouTube. It's lightroommark.com. YouTube/lightroommark. The community is in it's hosted on my website, lightroommark.com, and that's for the Monday night. So the recordings for this is on YouTube, the Wednesdays, and the community ones are private, password protected for paying people. I'll tell you now, it's £250 a year. You get, most Mondays you get 2 hours of support. You can pay monthly, or if you pay to the end of the calendar year, you get a 20-minute one-to-one every week, where you can book a session that's convenient with you. You automatically get the Zoom details, and I help you with a problem, or you've got a question or something. So every week you get a one-to-one, you book it, and it's a live diary. And then on a Monday, most weeks we meet up. The exception is public holidays and when I break for academic recess. So until the 6th, so I've got 2 and a bit weeks off now, but I still support you in those 20-minute sessions in the 2 weeks. So that's what I offer. So, but I'm always on the end of the phone and the email chat to members of the community, so that needs help. So, anyone else any questions? Okay, well, lovely to see you all. Have a great Christmas and enjoy yourselves. Drink loads of alcohol if you drink alcohol, And hopefully I'll see you in the new year on the 8th, where we'll be looking at, and that's a free event, the 8th, on Wednesday the 8th, we'll be looking at what's new in Classic Lightroom, sprinkled with a little bit of Photoshop. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Enjoy Christmas and New Year.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Thanks, Mark.
Bye.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Christmas.